Alright guys, here we are once again with the Criterion Blu-ray wheel. I think I've got this thing fixed finally. It was busted for a while. The deal is I'll spin this wheel, and whatever movie it stops on, I have all my Criterion Blu-rays loaded in. Whatever movie it stops on, that will be the one that I'll do. And as you can see, this thing has got them all loaded up, so without further ado, I'm going to give it a spin and see where it lands. Alright. It's stopped on Hearts and Minds. We'll get to that right after this. Alright guys, this is what I oftentimes refer to in my videos. It's an app on the iPad. You can also get it on Android. It's called DVD Profiler. And as you can see, it's laid out by collection number. This is how one way you can categorize them. You also do it alphabetically if you want. And you can assign anything you want. So all these are 5,000. These are all my Blu-ray box sets. And you can just kind of see what I've got here as I scroll through. And then I get to the ones that are, kind of wider, that don't fit on the shelf quite as easily. That's this whole group right here. And then I get to the DVD box sets. They're here. And then the Diamond Lux, just those four. There was from Spider-Man through Interstellar. Then Steel Books. I'll go through those pretty quickly, but I've got quite a few of those. And then the Criterions, which is where I'm headed. I could also search. I could also, if I wanted to, just go up here to this title search area and hit. Since I'm looking for Hearts and Minds, just hit that. And what it says is it's a startling and courageous film. Peter Davis's landmark 1974 documentary Hearts and Minds unflinchingly confronted the United States' involvement in Vietnam at the height of the torment that surrounded it. Using a wealth of sources, from interviews to newsreels to footage of the conflict and the upheaval it occasioned on the home front, Davis constructs a powerfully affecting picture of the disastrous effects of war. Explosive, persuasive, and wrenching, Hearts and Minds is a great movie. So let's take a look at the front cover here and the back. And the rest of what is said is Hearts and Minds is an overwhelming emotional experience and the most important nonfiction film ever made about this devastating period in history. It's from 1974, 112 minutes. It is in color, and it's a 1.85 to 1 aspect ratio, so it's going to be fairly widescreen. Not quite as widescreen as some, but fairly widescreen. Widescreen than most. You can see some of the extras that are on here. And you've got, really, newsreel footage on this, a wide variety of things. And what I like about this film is it really depicts war, not just from the American side, but also from the side of the Vietnamese, which I think really is important because you want to be able to get a full range of kind of what the situation was, and this certainly does that. This movie does that. You can go to reviews on Rotten Tomatoes, and it'll bring up Hearts and Minds, and you can hit that button right there, and it'll bring up Hearts and Minds. See, it gets 100%. The title of the documentary was inspired by the mantra recited by those in charge of the Vietnam War. In order to win the war, we must win the hearts and minds of the people. The failure to achieve this, coupled with the disastrous no-win policies of the higher-ups, is the nucleus of this film, put together by director Peter Davis in the same manners as Marcel O'Foole's The Sorrow and the Pity. Like the O'Foole's film, Davis juxtaposes news footage of the Vietnam War with interviews conducted with a variety of people, both the Vietnamese, observers, participants, interspersed in vignettes of the fatuous comments made by the generals and politicians. The film was briefly withdrawn from distribution when Walter Rostow, one-time advisor to President Johnson, insisted that his reputation had been damaged and demanded that the 2 minutes featuring Rostow on camera be deleted. More controversy arose when Hearts and Minds won the Best Documentary Oscar, whereupon the Academy Award issued a statement read during the awards ceremony by Frank Sinatra that it did not condone or advocate the volatile statements made by the producers during their acceptance speech. So you can see this thing was clearly controversial. Within the film is many segments featuring Lyndon Johnson, featuring Robert Kennedy, Nixon, a lot of the generals from the war, a lot of the servicemen that were fighting, the army men, as well as the Vietnamese. And, you intersperse the generals' comments and the politicians' comments, what was actually happening in Vietnam. And there's oftentimes a dispersity, or a disparity there, I should say, that makes you realize that what we were being told was not often what was really happening. So, what a great documentary! It really pulls the curtain back from that Vietnam War and shows what really happened to those people over there, and certainly their hearts and minds of the South Vietnamese in particular were tested from this war. Not only were they being attacked by the North Vietnamese, but oftentimes innocent people ended up being attacked, both in North and South Vietnam. So, in an effort to get the Viet Cong, really powerful. I bought it for $20 at Barnes & Noble, and I would highly recommend Hearts and Minds, filmed by Peter Davis. Hopefully you enjoyed this review. If you did, give it a like, comment. If you've seen the movie, if you'd like to see the movie, if you want to know any more about the movie, I'd be happy to tell you. That's my review. I hope you enjoyed it. And until the next time, guys, take care.